What is up, viewers? Rik Quasar here, and welcome to Rik's Random Rambles. I have something a little special for all of you today. I was going through all my old documents, and I found something very special to me. First, a little story. My first D&D campaign wasn't the most spectacular. I'm not going to get into it, but what did come out of it was what one good thing about it was all the players. Everybody was just fantastic, and I'm still friends with a lot of them to this day. And each person had a magnificent character with each with like a really cool backstory. Because of that, it led to me having an equally cool character. Still probably my favorite character to this day. It was a very fun campaign in the whole role playing and interacting with everyone's characters and whatnot. I mean, sure, I guess it's like, oh, first D&D character, you're always gonna love them, whatever. But still my favorite character. Anyways, the other day I found a short story that I wrote that was connected to this character. And I thought for today, for this short video, I would read it for all of you. I feel like one of like a typical like fangirl that like reads their own fan fiction. Whatever. It's fine. I'm gonna read the story to you. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna bring the microphone close to my face so that I can get on this really creepy voice, so that all of you can enjoy the nice little ambiance that I'm about to bring. And I am proud to present to all of you a short story written by yours truly, A Ryder's Mistake. Sam yawns as he stands at his post. These past few nights have been excruciatingly long. Ever since the Antagner family openly voiced their negative opinions of the Fakar family's ruling, he has been put on the overnight shift to keep watch over the mansion. Sam looked at the massive building behind him, the large front door barred shut. He couldn't imagine anyone attempting anything on such a well-fortified building. He rests his hand on the hilt of his sword and leans on the wall behind him, glancing at the guard on the other side of the door. Sam didn't know him. Most of the guards were just hired at random, no real qualifications, except to look terrifying. He yawns again, the exhaustion and boringness creeping into his brain. He slowly closes his eyes and nods off. But then immediately snaps awake, hearing a faint sound close by. He looks in front of him, peering into the darkness ahead. Did a twig snap? A bush rustle? Whatever it was, it's gone now. But he had definitely heard something. As Sam stared into the night, he heard a clattering beside him. He glances over and sees the other guards slumping to the ground. He rolls his eyes. Apparently, he wasn't the only one who was tired. He walks over to the guard, getting ready to wake him, but then freezes, seeing the guard's face. It was covered in blood. Blood that had dripped down from a fresh wound in his head, a single arrow sticking out of it. As Sam stares on, frozen to the spot, he suddenly snaps to attention, realizing there was a dangerous threat out here with him. With nowhere else to go, he turns to the door and starts pounding, yelling, trying to get in. Finally, he is answered, the door's many protections being unlocked, then being slowly creaked open as the family butler peers out at Sam, looking confused. Almost immediately, as if by magic, an arrow appears in the butler's head, confusion being replaced with shock as he slowly slides to the floor. Sam stares at the second corpse in horror, then screams in panic, "An attack! The mansion is being attacked!" He yells down the halls of the mansion as guards start to pour from their different rooms, coming from their different posts, all surprised at this unexpected development. Sam points at the front door, shouting, "Out there! I can't see him!" But just as the sentence leaves his lips, he's immediately proven wrong. A dark form, blurred by movement, cloaked in shadow, rushes into the mansion, almost charging directly into the crowd of now alert guards. This intruder is severely outnumbered, making the mansion guards feel cocky. One of them rushes forward to meet the intruder, his sword ready to strike. But before he even reaches the shadow, there's a flash of movement, and the guard falls to the ground, 2 arrows piercing his chest. The rest of the crowd is stunned, surprised by the speed of this kill. But they don't stay stunned for long. All of them at once cry out and charge the shadow. All of them except Sam. He watches on, seeing this dark figure rushing forward to meet the mob of guards. But as it moves, there are more quick flashes of speed, and with each flash, another guard falls dead, an arrow piercing them somewhere fatal. Sam watches on, the small army of guards growing ever smaller. A flash of inspiration hits him as he realizes what this figure is here for. He quickly turns and sprints off down one hallway. As he runs, members of the Antagner family start to come out of their rooms, their faces showing fear and worry. Sam yells at them to lock themselves in, to hide, but does not stop running. As he turns the corner, he hears screams and shouting, yells of pain, of death. He tries to block it out, tries to not think of the fate that may have befallen them. As he approaches the end of the hallway, he turns towards one door and charges in. Sitting at his desk, with a large window overlooking the mansion grounds behind him, sat Alan Antagnar, head of the family. "My lord!" Sam gasps, out of breath. "You are in danger. There's an assassin in the mansion. We must get you to safety." Alan, having dealt with the situation before, stands up quickly, reaching under his desk to grab for a hidden object. Sam glanced behind him, peering through the door, down the hallway, scanning for the dangerous shadow. Then it hits him. It's quiet. No movement, no sounds, nothing. He squints at the darkness, trying to see to the end of the hallway. Nothing. Had it left? Did it find what it was looking for? Was it just a simple warning? Had it killed what it needed to kill? Sam turned back to Alan, just in time to see a shadow appear in the window behind him. The glass shatters, a figure falls through, landing neatly on the head of the family's desk. Reacting fast, Sam draws his sword, charging forward to protect Alan, but is thrown backwards, a force painfully ripping through him. He falls back against the frame of the door, an arrow sticking out of his shoulder, blood dripping down his arm. Alan now, fully faced with the threat, makes a dash towards the open door. The shadow leapt off the desk, landing on the Antagnar, pinning him down to the floor just in front of the wounded Sam. The figure grabs Alan by the collar with one hand and points a crossbow with the other. A voice, cold and dark, echoed throughout the room. "Where is she?" it shouted. "Who?" Alan cried out in fear. The figure swings his arm, hitting Alan in the face with the handle of the crossbow. In doing this, Sam catches a glimpse of the figure's face. It was pale and weary, frustration clouding almost the entirety of it. But to Sam's surprise, the eyes were red, tears streaming down this dangerous man's face. "Justira Vakara, where is she?" Alan looked shocked, but did not lose his tongue. "What are you talking about? I don't know!" The assassin throws the Antagnar down, then, quick as a flash, shoots a crossbow arrow directly into his hand, causing Alan to scream in pain. "Liar!" the assassin roared. You have spoken out against the Fakaras, and now you've kidnapped their daughter. The rest of your family is dead. I have no qualms in killing you as well. Answer me now, where is she? Sam stares at the assassin, then looks down at Alan, watching as the last remaining Atagnar yells in fear. We didn't take her! She's not here! I swear it! Please, please let me live! The assassin stares intensely at Alan, the crossbow still pointed in his face, finger tight on the trigger. But then it lowers slowly, and the assassin turns to walk back towards the window. It was over. But once the assassin's back was turned, Alan got the chance he needed. In one smooth motion, he wrenched his hand free of the arrow, the other drawing the sharp dagger he had hidden in his cloak. He cried angrily as he charged at the assassin, ready to avenge his lost family. But in a final whirl of blurred darkness, Alan stops in his tracks, the raised dagger slowly falling to his side. Alan Atagnar, final member of the Atagnar family, fell dead, a single arrow piercing his heart. Sam stares at the fallen family member, then looks up, suddenly noticing the assassin moving towards him. He tries to move, tries to call for help, tries to do something, but his subconscious tells him there's no point. He sits on the floor, arrow in shoulder, waiting for his death. He shuts his eyes tight as the assassin kneels down in front of him. He holds his breath, waiting for an arrow to snuff out his life. But instead, he feels a cold, smooth object touch his hand. Sam opens one eye slightly, glancing down. In his hand lies a small vial, what he recognizes to be a potion of healing. He looks up directly into the face of the assassin. Their eyes lock, and in that moment Sam sees sadness, despair, loss, all reflecting in the tear-stained face of this terrifying human. The assassin stares back at Sam for a moment, and in a blur of movement disappears into the night, leaving Sam in the house of the fallen family. Well, thank you everybody for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the story. I can't remember exactly when I wrote it, but it's just always been near and dear to my heart. But anyways, thank you for joining me. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, I'm Rik Quasar. Have a good night.